This podcast is sponsored by RSA Rock and Metal Fans Facebook page.
Okay.
You sound totally fine on my side, dude. Like
Okay, there we go. No,
100%
I was
crystal clear.
just testing the microphone up because it's, dude, I've had such a nightmare with hardware. It's just, I had to reinstall Windows 10. I had my microphone in the middle of a podcast just blew up.
Oh shit, dude, that's horrible. Wow.
You're telling me, right? You know, I was just like, you got to be fucking kidding me. I'm like,
Jeez, talk about technical
and they're not
difficulties.
responding to me, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah,
but I feel so helpless on my side because I can hear you fine, and then like, hello, can you hear me? Hello.
Yeah,
hello.
yeah, dude. I don't
It's
know
horrible,
why,
dude.
but anyway, it's like I say, it's a new microphone, so I'm having to sort of find my feet again, and my headphones fucked up. So I'm like, got these
shit,
ear
dude.
headphones. So everything happens in threes. I'm like thinking, okay,
Of
what's
course.
next? I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for the third thing.
Hopefully, it's something like pretty simple, like a 20-cent increase on petrol or something.
No, that's definitely something worth to sing the blues about.
Right, dude. There's always something to sing the blues about, dude.
What a great way to start the conversation, man. Kenny
I
Hughes,
love it,
how's it
man.
going, man?
Well, thanks to yourself, man.
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. Listen, I don't know a whole lot about your music, your journey in the blues or anything like that. So let's just get cracking, man.
Sweet.
What is the Kenny Hughes journey?
Oh, dude. Basically, I tried a couple different things, and I thought about, like most teenagers, I thought, what am I going to do with my life? And music is just the one constant that remained, man. Like, I always knew that music would be a part of my life. I just, like, you grow up believing you can't just go into a career in music. It's not that simple. You got to have a day job, and then you do music on the sideline type thing. And, music was the only constant that stayed. And eventually I just took the leap, started doing music full time. And now that's all I want to do, man.
Rad, because you were a drummer and then you decided, no, I want the spotlight.
Well, yeah.
Well, I mean, you know what I mean? Not exactly like that, but,
Well, I mean, yeah. So basically what happened was I was a drummer in a band when I was like, I was like 11 years old. And I just looked over at the guitarist, and he just seemed to be having a whole lot more fun than I was. So it's true, man. And so I asked my parents, can I start jamming guitar? And the following year I went for my first guitar lesson, and hey, the rest is history, eh?
Wow. So, I mean, what were the influences? Why? And secondly, why the blues?
Well, I can actually answer both questions simultaneously, dude. Right. So my dad and my uncle have fantastic taste in music, and I grew up listening to Dire Straits almost all the time. So,
okay.
I mean, obviously Mark Knopfler and Sultans of Swing, that's a serious blues feel to it.
Brothers in Arms.
And so
that one.
Oh my goodness, dude. Don't even get me started, dude. Money for Nothing, man. Come on, dude.
Yeah, it's all there, isn't it? The blues are infused into every genre anyway. But I mean, sorry, carry on. I digress.
Dude. I mean, no, not at all, dude. I mean, everything started with the blues, dude. The blues was first, you know what I mean? And then came rock and roll, dude. And then came funk. And then came all these leggy things. And now we've got today's top 50, which, I mean, I don't agree with at all. So, yeah, man. I mean, I actually started playing guitar, and I never knew that there was a genre called the blues. So every time a blues tune would come on, I'd be like, that's it. That's the sound I'm chasing. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to play. And only much later on did I realize, oh, well, this shit's called the blues, man. And then, like, doors just opened for me, man. And then it was an influx of knowledge and information from all the greats like Jimi Hendrix, and I mean, obviously first Robert Johnson and stuff. And so once I found that, dude, that was just it for me. So, I mean, yeah, and here we are, a blues lover and a blues player, man.
I mean, what can you recall the first blues album you listened to?
The first blues song I listened to was actually, when I realized it's called the blues, was a song called Jesus is on the Main Line by Aerosmith, man.
Wow.
So, yeah, can you believe it, dude? It's just this really dirty slide blues riff. And I was just like, oh, that is so filthy. And where I actually heard it was on that, I don't know if you've ever watched the movie Black Snake Moan with Samuel L. Jackson.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. So in that movie, that tune plays, and then I could finally figure out the name of the tune in the credits and stuff, and then I searched it, and then I found out, okay, cool, so it's a genre called the blues, and okay, well, here we are. But the first blues album I listened to, like the full album, I would say was actually probably a Dan Patlansky album, 20 Stones, I believe it was.
Wow. So
yeah, actually. So
when you figured out it was the blues, did you sort of like go on like a journey, like a trip to find out, you know, where did all this sort of come from?
Definitely, dude. So I could not read enough. You know what I mean? I mean, that's when we just got a laptop in the house and we just had an internet connection. So, I mean, I was abusing Google for everything it was worth, you know?
Well, at least somebody's abusing Google and not Google abusing somebody, you know?
At least for a change, eh?
No, that's rad, man.
So, yeah, man.
Shit, because, you know, I was never big into the blues, but I always did have blues vinyl and well, some blues, not a lot, but some, like the Doors. I had some Jimi Hendrix.
Awesome.
Then I sort of listened to more sort of like rocky stuff, but it just kind of filters through. Blues is everywhere. You can hear it in swing, you can hear it in big band, in rock, in metal, and it's how does
you really can.
How does an artist such as the blues artist come up with something new when it's been around for so long?
Well, that's the thing, man. I mean, like, you don't really mess with a formula that works, you know. So you
absolutely.
sort of you keep the foundation, which is I mean, that's the most important part. That's the most recognizable part about the blues is, well, you could say a 12-bar blues chord progression, a 1-4-5. And I mean, like, how many pop songs haven't been written with a 1-4-5 progression as well?
Yeah.
So, it, like you said, man, it really is everywhere. But the only thing you can hope to do, you can never change it. You can never change the recipe. You can only add a couple ingredients. And those ingredients come from yourself, man. Your voice, your playing, and obviously your soul gets into it. And that's the only thing that makes it, that brings any sort of variation to the recipe.
What is your take on like the current generation of blues artists? Okay, I mean, I say current, you know, I'm going to use someone like Joe Bonamassa. He's been around for a fair while.
Oh my goodness, dude. I mean, you're talking about Joe Bonamassa. This dude opened for B.B. King when he was 11.
Yeah.
In front of like
amazing.
thousands of people. I mean, this dude's definitely a prodigy. You know what I mean?
It's just incredible what he's done. And his albums are pretty, I mean, they're not overly bluesy, if you know what I mean. They're very sort of like,
no.
I guess you could say dark blues perhaps, or heavy blues. You know, without creating more genres, for God's sakes, we don't need more genres. Bloody hell.
I mean, how many genres of metal music are there already?
Exactly.
You get so many different forms of it.
But I have this conversation, dude, with so many artists. I'm just saying, fuck, can we just call it metal, please?
Yeah, please, just for once, dude. Like, let's just stick to metal. We all know what metal is, and we love it, and let's just listen to it. We can stop sub-classifying it now, man.
Exactly.
Anyway,
who cares if it's slam or whatever? It's metal.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so blues.
I mean, dude, Iron Maiden was regarded as metal, for goodness sake, dude. And I regard Iron Maiden as hard rock. I don't even regard it as
but you see now, but as time progresses, back in the day, Iron Maiden were metal. Now,
yeah, definitely, yeah.
You know, hard rock. I agree with you.
Because they were pushing boundaries. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were pushing boundaries. They were pushing the limits of what is acceptable
and
to play on radio.
Never changed their recipe, have they? They just keep it.
Never ever, dude. And I mean, if you're looking at a band who has their name decaled on the side of a private jet, then I think, like, leave them alone. They seem to know what they're doing.
I think they've done something right somewhere along the lines.
I feel like their recipe seems to work, and
they've earned it.
No one should interfere.
So I mean,
but yeah, man, it's a good.
So blues, yeah. I mean, I'm just trying to like figure out, you know, the recipe behind blues and why it came to be. You know, the history of. You tell me, because I don't know all too much about it.
Well, see, I could be mistaken about this, and if I am, and if anyone knows better or the truth, shall I say, please get in touch with me and let me know. But as far as I know, it actually came from the slave days in America, right? So all they had were the black keys. Those were the only notes at their disposal that they could use. I'm not sure how exactly that came to be. But you look at like a song like Amazing Grace, for example. That whole song can be played strictly on the black keys.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so it was basically, blues came from gospel music that got these guys through their incredibly hard work. I mean, these poor people were worked to the bone, and that was the only way they could cope, was their singing. They sang as they worked to motivate each other to just get through another day, just get through another day. And eventually it went from, well, praising the Lord to, I suppose, singing about whiskey and women, you know, like Robert Johnson. Robert Johnson brought that into the world, and Son House and those guys. And yeah, man, that's basically where the blues comes from. It actually comes from old gospel music.
Hardship. That's why it sounds so
exactly,
like tormented
dude.
and sad. And
it does, man. And that's why it's so emotional. Dude.
Do you have to be sad to write a sad song?
No. Sometimes you could be really happy after a sad period in your life. So once you've recovered, you look back on that moment and you're like, okay, cool, that would actually make a good song. Sometimes you're too close to it.
Let's talk about your two songs, okay? So there's two of them, right? That you've only just recently, or one of them you've only just Overcome. Is that the latest one?
Yeah. Overcome's the latest one. It was released last year initially on YouTube alone, and now recently in the last week or two, it was finally put on Spotify. So,
right. And
yeah, I suppose you could say it was re-released.
Right. And Wicked Ways was released when?
Well, Wicked Ways was actually released last year, June already.
Okay.
But it didn't do the rounds as well. I only made really good contacts lately, like Devo.
Yeah.
For example, who's
Devo's
really
a
helping
master,
me
man.
circulate it.
No,
He really is, dude. He's a genius.
That guy's a legend. But I mean,
yeah, so he's helping me circulate it more than I was able to on my own, you know?
So if you've been doing this for a fair while, how come only two songs?
Oh, well, honestly, it's just the price of recording, man. Like, if I could just make friends with a dude that's got a really good studio and is really good at recording, because I'm a bit of a stickler, a bit of a perfectionist as well.
I like to hear that,
yeah, man. So, like, I'm still on the hunt for a reasonably priced studio that you could say I could grow with. As I grow as a musician, I take them with me, or as they grow as a studio, I stay on their list of artists. You know? Right now, I'm in the Western Cape, and it seems like I'm going to be in the Western Cape quite a while. I'm thinking of moving to Mossel Bay, actually.
Okay. So anybody out there that's listening to the podcast, Kenny is looking for a recording studio, producer, person, whatever, that can help grow with him.
Get in touch, man, because like you said, I mean, I have been doing this for a while, and there's only 2 songs, but the reality is I've written about, I think it's over 30 songs now already, all original. Yeah, man. So that's like almost 3 albums worth. So there's definitely material to be recorded. It's just, it's so expensive. It's become so expensive to record, man.
Are you not one of these home studio recording guys? You like to go into a proper studio and everything?
Well, the thing is, I don't know enough about it to get, to really get the sound that I want. You know what I mean? Like, I know what it sounds like in my head, and I just can't seem to get it myself. And where I recorded Wicked Ways, it's a studio called Crooked House there in Bloemfontein. And I mean, the whole song took about 2 hours to record, and those guys are just so good. So I've definitely been spoiled by that, by getting the sound I wanted.
Anything new lined up other than what's just been released?
Oh man, all the time, man. I mean, since Overcome, I think I've written about 6 songs.
Fucking hell, man! Sucker.
Dude, I write a lot, man. I write all the time.
Jeez, where do you get the inspiration to write? Where does it come from?
Honestly, I have no idea, because basically my writing process is I'd be sitting playing guitar like I do literally every single day, and then I would come across a riff or a lick or a chord progression or a whatever, and I would start jamming it. Sometimes it's even just a bass line, and I'd be jamming, and then I feel lyrics just like sort of bubbling to the surface. So what I do then is I put my cell phone on record, and then I play the chord progression or the lick or the riff or whatever on a loop as I randomly just sing over it, like improvising type of vibe, while my phone's recording. And then after I'm done for like 5 minutes or whatever, I stop the recording, listen back to it, and then I just pick out the pieces that I really liked and slowly piece together a song. So sometimes it's very quick, sometimes it takes a while.
So I mean, Jesus, 30 odd songs. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's what I do, dude. This is my life now.
But I mean, isn't there like any sort of, I mean, it's almost like an untapped gold mine. You just want to just leave it there and let it keep, you know, producing.
Yeah, well, see, the thing about it is, you know, the age-old expression of you are your own worst critic. So, I mean, I'm constantly working on the song. Just because it's written doesn't mean it's finished, you know?
Right.
So, I'm one of those guys that constantly think, oh, I could have done that better, I could have done that better, I could have done that better. So, I need to get out of my own head and get the songs out of my own head as well. Just get them down somewhere. So, yeah.
So
I'm going to be...
as
soon as I can, I'm going to get myself a good recording software, like maybe Reaper or something. I'm still looking into that. And then I'm going to try my hand at it, man. I'm going to try make... it doesn't have to be the best quality, because it's not like I'm going to try get it on radio, but I want to just have a 10-track CD that I can start selling at my gigs and stuff. So... yeah, that much I can do myself. But in terms of getting it on Spotify and stuff, that takes a certain level of expertise, you know.
Get it onto Spotify. No, it doesn't. I do distribution. It doesn't take much, believe me.
Oh, really?
No, it's piss easy.
But doesn't your song have to be of a certain quality? I mean, doesn't it have to meet
you know,
certain
the thing
really?
is, I've heard some music that's been done or recorded using Reaper, and it sounds pretty good. And I've heard whole albums recorded with fake drums, fake bass, everything like that, and it sounds pretty good. Yeah. And it's been released on Spotify, so iTunes, and so on. So
to the public, they wouldn't even know. Yeah.
No, exactly. You know, the thing is with the distribution platforms or the DSPs, what they do is they take your song from your chosen distribution partner, like DistroKid or 1RPM or whoever you choose, CD Baby or whatever. And what they do is they distribute it out to iTunes, Apple, Spotify, and wherever it goes. And then those companies then rip it down to suit their format and their platform. So, you know, in the end, when, you know, sometimes when the end user listens to it, it's like 128 kbps or even less than. And you've sent it in 320 or WAV or full, you know, full on HD audio. But they still rip it down. So the best is to give it to the distribution company in the highest possible format. And then, you know, yeah, so I've heard albums being recorded using Reaper, and it sounds absolutely fine. But I was going to ask you...
Okay, cool, man.
I was going to ask you, when you go into the studio to record...
yes.
Band. Where's the band? What is the band?
Well, actually, with Wicked Ways, it's exactly like you said, man. The drums were programmed in, and Peter is the owner of Crooked House. He actually played the bass for me. So I don't have a band at this stage, man. I am looking into it, though, and I've spoken to a couple drummers and a couple bassists and stuff. I'm thinking of doing the duo thing, so just guitar and drums, and I'll see how that works out. And if that doesn't sound as great as I wanted to, then I'll definitely get in a bassist and possibly an electric organ or something like that. That'd be quite cool.
So how do you do it live then? If let's say you go to a studio and record, and you get a band in, or you do the programmed or whatever, how do you do it live?
Yeah. Oh, well, I don't have drums or bass then live. I do the one-man show thing, so I've got a looper and everything that I play with and stuff. So yeah,
you obviously like really sort of intimate gigs and really up close and personal with audiences and stuff like that?
Oh, well, it really actually doesn't matter, man. I mean, I've stolen a page from Albert Frost, and I mean, credit where credit is due. So what I do is I swap between the acoustic and electric on stage and stuff, and that definitely fills up the show a lot, makes it a lot more powerful. So lay down an acoustic chord progression and then pick up the electric and solo over it or whatever. And what I've actually got as well is a suitcase that I put a floor tom mic inside. And I use the suitcase as a kick drum to just fill it up even more. So it's really quite a full sound. I mean, it would obviously be a lot more powerful with a band.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm looking at it for festivals especially.
Right.
But in terms of getting gigs and stuff, it's a lot easier from a solo perspective, because I mean it's one guy that has to be paid, it's one guy that has to get there and be fed and get
Less
given drinks.
complication. Don't have to wait for a
A lot
drummer or for a vocalist or whatever.
that type of stuff, man. And I mean, I don't get dropped at the last minute, you know what I mean, saying, oh,
Yeah.
sorry dude, I'm still stuck at work or whatever, you know.
Yeah. You strike me as the kind of
It also
person who
gives a
likes to
lot
be
of
in control of everything that's going on with music.
you know, I'm pretty easygoing, but there are certain things that I want done a certain way, definitely. And
No,
so
I mean, that's
yeah, I
understandable.
came back.
It's your art form, so you know you
100%, man. And I mean, at the
yeah.
end of the day, like whether I get a band or not, it's still going to be Kenny Hughes. So it is still my name
Yeah.
that's up there. You know what I mean? So yeah, in a certain degree, to a certain extent, I suppose I am quite difficult.
No,
But I mean, who isn't?
I don't mean difficult. I mean like controlling. You know, not controlling. It sounds
Yeah,
terrible.
yeah.
But you know what I mean.
No, well, I mean, I understand exactly what you mean. I understand exactly what
Yeah.
you're saying, and it's true, man. Yeah, 100%, dude. 100%.
So what have you got lined up for in terms of gigs and shows now that lockdown one's in? Are we able to go do gigs now?
Yeah, man. I actually started not on this past Friday, but the Friday before. I played at Zeppelin's in Mossel Bay, and then the Saturday I played at Vikings in Mossel Bay.
Okay.
And now this Saturday I played at Ferry No Backpackers in Wilderness. So yeah, gigs are slowly but surely making their way back now. And I mean, that was still on Saturday, so it's actually only officially lifted today, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
That the curfew's a bit later and like more people
it's
show up. So I'm sure it's
4 or something like that. Yeah.
I don't even know why, dude. Like, but whatever. We're not gonna get into that.
Yeah. No, let's just leave that alone for now.
Yeah, man. So like gigs are slowly but surely starting to normalize and come in and stuff. So I'm sure we'll be back on the horse pretty soon.
Cool. Have you got anything lined up this week coming that you can let everybody know? Because I'm going to release this podcast on Friday.
Okay, well, I've got a gig on Thursday. So they would have missed it by a day.
Damn it, where were you? Yeah, okay. Where is it happening on Thursday anyway?
It's a little coffee shop here just outside Riversdale, where I'm staying right now, at Barley Trading. A really cool, what do you call it? Like, it's basically like a little center, but they've got like an antique shop, and they've got coffee shop and all sorts of, you know, artsy craftsy type stuff. Very, very cool place. And they're basically having a moonlight market on Thursday night. So yeah, it's going to be cool.
Oh, very cool. Okay. Trying to get people out and about and spend
Yeah, man. Just exactly, dude. Just trying to get some customers to actually go spend some of that cash they've been hoarding.
All blown on alcohol. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that, dude. Yeah. On $700 bottles of brandy, eh? Jeez.
No way,
man. Believe it.
Never. I'd rather drink my own piss, Not a chance. Fucking
wow. We have water here. You can come visit, dude.
Listen, I live in Langebaan. The water here does not taste very good.
Oh, no, I feel you, dude. I'd also drink my own piss then. That's fine. I share your sentiment, man.
So let's talk the gear that you play with. What's your rig rundown?
Well, rig rundown, most of the time, as you can imagine, it's mostly acoustic, because like you said, I do a lot of intimate type shows, smaller venues and stuff like that. So in terms of my acoustic, I use a Cole Clark Fat Lady 3 AC, and she's my wife, dude, like 100%. I love that bitch, man.
That's why you're single, right?
Yeah, man.
Nobody can compete with her.
It's a big part of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, back to the whole controlling thing, dude. There are some things you just can't control. So I mean, I just stay out of the fight, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Good man.
Yeah. In terms of my my system that I travel around, I'm very fortunate to have my own system, so I don't have to hire sound or anything. I've got a Allen and Heath desk, a little 12-channel desk. I say little, but I mean that's actually more than sufficient. I've got 2 15-inch Mackie Thumps, 1300 watts each. Amazing speakers, really, really wonderful. So yeah, between those two, I mean, I can play literally most venues, and any venue bigger than that, they'll definitely have their own sound.
Yeah, absolutely.
In terms of electric, I got a 2011 American Special Stratocaster, which I got for my 18th birthday. Best gift in the world, by the way. If there are any parents out there wondering what to get for their sons or daughters. My amp is a Vox AC15. We took out the Celestian greenback speaker that it had in, and we replaced it with I believe it's an 84 Marshall, also a 12-inch, something or other. It sounds absolutely lovely. And then, yeah, man, like I told you already about my super cool suitcase. Got a floor tom mic inside, and then I just use a kick pedal and kick the crap out of it. Sounds amazing.
So what is it about the Stratocaster and Blues?
Oh man, it's iconic, eh? That's going to be a difficult one to answer, because there's going to be people saying, but you should have a Les Paul. And then there's going to be other guys saying, you should have a Telly. And I mean, you know, it is usually one of those three, unless you go into the shredding realm and guys have got an Ibanez or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man, the Strat has just, look at most rock and roll posters, most blues posters, most album covers, most everything, dude. It's just the Strat's all over, and it's for a damn good reason. The thing's got more soul than I do, man.
I was just going to say, because it's quite a round tone, isn't it? And blues is all about that tone.
Wonderful. Exactly, man. It's a Strat's got this slappiness to it. Like it's almost like the string attacks back after you attack it. You know what I mean? A Les Paul is a very warm, very big sound, but a Strat's just got this slap back to it that, I don't know, it's just irreplaceable in my opinion. And that's all it is. It's just my opinion. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay. If somebody came
Plus,
along and said, I'll offer you a deal or something, you know, a sponsorship or, you know.
Hey, we can talk, man. We can talk. But I guarantee that, like, let's say someone were to give me a Les Paul and say, here, you get this, you play with this. I guarantee I would still have my Strat on stage as well. It'll definitely be there.
Yeah.
It's just, there's no replacing it. So, #Fender. Come on, guys.
Fender.
Just give me another one. I mean, you guys have
thousands. Exactly. I'll stick to my beauty, but you can always give me another one. Yeah, absolutely.
You can always give me another one, man, in like Olympic white or something. It sounds great.
let's go for a couple of cherry sunburst ones and this and that and the other.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, we could do that too, man. I'm all for that natural finish, you know. Let's do through. Sounds lovely, man.
A quick fire question: what album is your latest album that you've listened to? Go.
50 for 50 by Richie Kotzen.
There you go. Boom. Okay, I believe you are a horror movie buff.
I quite like them, huh?
Okay, what's your favorite?
I'd say the scariest movie I ever saw was when I was 11. It was The Grudge, the first Grudge movie. And since then, nothing has come close. Nothing has come close to as scary.
Right. Okay.
I think I've been desensitized though, so that's my fault.
Well, you see, that's exactly it. You say, for me, it would be something like The Shining. Psychologically, it just fucks me up every time I see it. I'm like,
that's such a good movie though, man. That the dude like sort of just slips into his own darkness. It's crazy. It's really, what a good movie.
I think what I love most about that movie is when his son and his wife are playing in the maze outside, and he's just standing over the maze looking down, and he's just like,
and he's just menacing
look
manically.
Maniacal.
I think my favorite moment was like right at the beginning, before he even goes to the hotel, and the guy's explaining to him how this previous dude went crazy and killed his whole family, and this guy's sitting there like, I'll be fine. No problem. I can handle it.
Into horror movies. Yeah, sure.
Crazy, dude.
We're fast running out of time here, so Overcome and Wicked Ways is the Wicked Ways, eh? That's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so Overcome and Wicked Ways are out now on Spotify, and it's on iTunes, Apple. It's basically everywhere, right?
Basically everywhere.
Okay, so
If you look for it, you'll find it.
Those are the plans for this COVID 2020. Fucking hell, what a disaster.
Right.
What are you going to be doing? Are you going to be heading into a studio, hopefully? Another single, an album, EP? What's the vibe?
That would be incredible, man. But what I'm focused on right now is a tour, actually. I'm going to be doing a little tour from the Western Cape up through Bloemfontein, where I used to live. So I know a couple of places there, up to Gauteng, and then all the way to Dolfstrom, actually.
Wow.
I've got a couple places that I need to go play, and I just can't wait to get on the road again.
Have you got any dates or anything specifics?
So far, all I've got specifically is the 20th, I'm at Shabeen in Bloemfontein. The 28th, I'm at Foxtails Bar in Dolfstrom. The 5th, I'm at, I think I'm at Beach House on the 5th. And then the 6th, which is in Kaapse-Whip, and then the 6th, I'm at Bohemian Groove Cafe, also in Kaapse-Whip.
Is this October?
November, actually.
November.
End of November,
okay.
end of
November,
yeah.
People. Okay, cool. Well, I'm gonna put all your social links in the description below, so everybody will be able to click on and find out more about you and everything like that. And just
awesome,
man. I've included. Let's have a look. See. Overcome on my Talk to Trev Volume 1. All the artists that I've done podcasts with always include one or two of their tracks on my Spotify playlist. So Overcome is on there. It's a great, those two songs are very cool, man. I put it on and I was like, fuck, what do I do now? Do I go like just close the eyes and chill out, or do I go get a whiskey? Yeah.
Oh, dude, both, eh? First get the whiskey though. Otherwise
there's the solution. Whiskey, then close the eyes.
Whiskey, then close the eyes, dude. Thanks so much for the chat, man. I mean, it was what a great time, dude. I'd love to do it again sometime.
30 minutes I think is pretty cool. I would love to sit down with you at some point with whiskey in hand and have some blues playing in the background and talk.
Well, then we do that, dude.
Because it's a complex thing.
How about we braai?
Braai with the whiskey. Hey.
Braai with a lot of whiskey.
Awesome, dude. Kenny, keep well and be safe, and good luck with your gig on Thursday. And I'll put this podcast up on Friday, and that's it. Have a good one.
Sweet. Thank you so much, man. Same to you, dude.
Alrighty, man. Cheers, bro.
Cheers, man. Bye.